Hosta La Vista is brought to you by Green Hill Hostas.
Welcome to Hosta La Vista, the podcast where the shade is cool, the leaves are lush, and the friendship's perennial. We are your hosts. I'm Betsy Peterson.
And I'm Mandy Olson, two hobbyist sisters who love this plant as much as you do.
Join us each week as we dig into all things hosta, the plant affectionately known as the friendship plant. Today, we're headed to Williamsport, Pennsylvania to visit one of the most beautiful and imaginative hosta gardens we've seen in quite some time.
Our guest is Lonna Engel, creator of the Painted Leaf Hosta Garden, home to more than 900 hosta cultivars and countless inspiring design ideas. Her garden was recently recognized as a runner-up in the 2025 Garden Gate magazine's Reader Garden Awards and has been featured by Fine Gardening magazine.
If you've seen photos of her garden, you know it's much more than a collection. The Painted Leaf Hosta Garden is filled with winding pathways, garden art, ponds, companion plants, and even crystal chandeliers hanging from the trees.
And if you're on Instagram, there's a good chance you've already seen her work. Her account at Painted Leaf Hosta Garden has grown to more than 60,000 followers who tune in for hostas, shade gardening inspiration, and some seriously beautiful garden photography.
Today, we're going to talk about how a single hosta bed turned into nearly 1,000 cultivars, what she's learned from growing hostas from seed, and how she designs a garden people remember. Lonna and Sean, welcome to Hosta La Vista.
Good morning. Nice to see you both.
Well, Lonna, let's start at the beginning. In 2016, you planted one hosta bed. How did one bed turn into 900 hostas?
It started with one friend. My friend Shandy came over one day and wanted to know what this single hosta was in my garden. And I proudly told her it was a bird bath hosta. And we were admiring it. I had no idea it was actually an elegans at the time. Oh. And she contacted me around 10 o'clock that night and said, Lonna, did you know that there are thousands of varieties of these bird bath hostas? And that's all it took. That's all it took. I started researching and got caught up in the web with all the hosta sites. And the next thing you know, this is what happened.
We know that path well, don't we, Mandy?
We do. We know this all too well.
The boring shade plant turned into it was wrong. There was nothing boring about these plants.
So what exactly is a bird bath hosta?
When someone gave me this plant, it actually, I believe it was an elegans at the time. And when they gave it to me, they said, oh, it's called a bird bath hosta. And I believed it. There was no name. That was the name to me. Because if I had 3 of them, I believe it was. They were the very first hostas I ever had in the garden, and they were all gifted to me. So I had no clue. It was a bird bath hosta.
I love it.
You know, oddly enough, my first 2 were elegans too.
That's funny.
It's like the gateway hosta variety, right?
Yes. And, they are so important, though. I mean, they give off their own in the collection. They really shine. And they're huge.
Yeah. And they're beautiful. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We also have our township throws away plants. It's like a recycling area. And we got Royal Standards years ago.
Oh, so long ago, before we knew about HVX.
Yeah.
We got very lucky.
Yeah.
But I still have some of them just in their own group because of, being one of the first hostas that we got.
Sure.
We didn't even know they were hostas. We just didn't know much about them.
Yeah.
Well,
the Painted Leaf is such a memorable name. Tell us the story behind it and how you decided it was the right name for your garden.
Well, hostas are so unique with their painted leaves. They look like they were painted. So when I have people touring the garden, I often tell them to treat the garden like a museum. You walk into a museum, all you see are squares and rectangles and pieces of art in a building. Where when you walk into a hosta garden, all you see, more than likely, are colors. You don't see each individual hosta. So I tell them, go to your favorite one, figure out why you went to that favorite one, what made it so it's, stand out, and then go from there. If you see each hosta, you will see the garden better. You will enjoy it more so when you start to notice each individual hosta. So it started out like that. It started out as just telling them to treat it like a museum. Go to that one. But
I like that. That's cool.
yeah.
Well, you've grown to more than 900 hostas in less than 10 years. How did you collect so many so fast, and where did you buy them?
Road trip started it. John got to the point where he was asking, where are you putting it? Where are you putting this one? And, I have a place. And then I'd have to go out there and try to figure that out before we had all these beds done. A lot of we went to different places, like different conferences. And the best part of the hosta collection is getting them from fellow hosta gardeners that became really good friends over the years. Yeah, you just go greenhouse hopping. You never turn down one when you're driving by. You never know what you'll find.
I know.
So were you planting like hundreds each year?
No, it started out with one flower bed, and I started filling it up slowly, removing other perennials and putting in hostas because the hostas just didn't stand out. So it started with one, and then I found more hostas. Every year I'd find 5 or 6, and I'm like, I have no room. So let's expand this bed or pull out this bush to find places that worked for the hostas. So no, it was just over the winter was what got me in trouble. When you have all the new ones start coming out, and yeah.
So what did your family think when this hosta count started to get higher and higher and higher?
Well, it's funny. My parents weren't surprised. My family they weren't really surprised. I was more surprised at their interest. When my mom would come over and say, hey, where did you get this one? They started taking notice to different hostas, and it was just kind of a treat to see them, kind of, it wasn't just a garden full of plants to them after a while. So, and they actually started visiting and enjoying the garden with all these crazy hostas everywhere. But
Great.
Definitely. So you have been the runner-up in a contest as part of Garden Gates magazine, correct?
yes.
So how did that come about?
Well, I was always a big fan of Garden Gate magazine, and I happened to notice a page that said, hey, why don't you send in a few of your pictures? And I thought, why not? I didn't think that a lot of people would be interested in just hostas, but I was really surprised to get that notification that, that we had been selected as the runner-up. It was an honor.
Yeah.
So you sent in photos of your garden and they picked you, and then like how long was the contest?
It happened, I believe it was in the winter into spring, I believe. I'm not quite sure about that one. It just kind of all went together, and the next thing you know, I was getting this email and running to John and in total shock.
Oh, that's great.
And she takes literally thousands of pictures every year.
He's telling on me.
Looking for that right one, and the right one, she's got a really good eye for it. She really does.
Yeah.
Lonna, I've seen some of your photos and they are just gorgeous. Have you ever entered the American Hosta Society photo contest?
The Hosta Journal.
Yeah.
I'm actually in there. I did win last year, and then I'm in the newest one as well. So yes.
Which category?
One of them, well, both of them last year and this year or the last two, I should say, were the mature clumps. And then another one, oh my goodness, it was just with hostas in it, like a picture or a photo of the garden with hostas.
Oh, cool. Well, now I have to dig out my magazine.
Yes, and artistic. That's right. It was blooms of all things.
Oh,
that was exciting. Yeah.
I'm in this most recent one too. I got
I saw that.
Up. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. I saw that.
Not
Congratulations.
It's just for fun. I just thought, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really neat though to see your photography in a printed
Oh, I know. It is.
I mean, it just makes it real all of a sudden.
Yes, it was such an honor.
How has that recognition changed the way you think about the garden you've created?
I became a little bit more critical about things. Oh, there's the weeds. Oh, the edging's not right. There's yellow patches in the grass. And then all of a sudden, I realized it didn't need to be perfect to feel pretty to me. It was still peaceful with the weeds. You know what I'm saying? I finally calmed down after all of that and just enjoy the garden. But yes, at first it was I better keep up with this if it's in a magazine, and then realized, no, we can't do that. We got to just enjoy it. You can't become obsessed.
Listeners, if you have not seen this garden, go on Instagram, make an account if you don't have one. And it is worth creating that account just to follow Lonna on the Painted Leaf. Let's talk about your chandeliers, because we do not normally see chandeliers in trees. Where did that idea come from?
I started with little mirrors on fishing line glued together because I loved the little bit of sparkle it gave above the hostas. And then I went to a yard sale and I came across a chandelier just laying on the table, and I thought, why not? So we brought it home, I hung it in a tree, and I thought, you know what? It needs to be a collection around this old cherry tree. And it also helps bring the eye up, and then, so that the visitors can actually enjoy all of the garden, just not looking down all the time. And it's been a really big change that has really helped the garden. And then we found spinners. Some of them actually spin, and it just adds the movement to the garden. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. They are a lot of fun.
Now, do you leave them in the tree year round, or do you take them down for winter?
I do not. I do take them down for winter and store them.
Okay.
I just don't want them. They'll actually start to, with the freeze and thaw and everything. I don't want them to damage, but it's so nice to come out in the spring and hang them. It's like this is, the start of garden season.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yes, I know that feeling well. There's a lot of garden art that gets stored. We just live on a city lot, and my husband's garage, we don't even have like a garden shed or anything. I bring all this stuff in the winter, and he's like, "Where are we putting this stuff?" As it comes around, like we're out of space, so there's no room for the cars. So I think if I told him I wanted chandeliers, he may hang me some papers.
That's funny.
Well, what's the weirdest thing in your garden that visitors absolutely love?
It's the cement toad.
Oh.
It's a cement toad. This little toad, there's a story behind it. It actually has wings. I was mowing the grass one day, and a toad popped out and zigged when he should have zagged.
Oh, no.
And I cried a few tears, and I buried the poor soul. And then my husband says we have to go to this hardware store. And when I was walking into the garden center, this cement toad with wings was looking at me within the hour of just burying this poor toad. So John's carrying this heavy, somewhat ugly toad out to the car, and he's like, "Why are we taking this to our garden? It just does not fit in." And I told him this story, and now we have it to where it's almost hidden in the garden, and you can only see it with a mirror. I have it tucked in the hostas. So when they come across this mirror showing this toad with wings, they always ask, and they get a kick out of it. Of all the weird things, right?
Well, I accidentally murdered someone, so
yeah, right. It's so bad, but they do. They love it. They think it's a great toad.
Let's talk about your garden design for a little bit, because the videos on Instagram, as you just kind of walk through and pan, and you can see all of your hostas, you have put a lot of thought into your design work. So what's the smartest design decision that you've made that you could share with listeners?
Well, I can tell you the smartest design decision was actually to layer my trees. We lost a big tree, and I didn't realize how much of the garden it shaded. And I learned a lesson to just put a tree in between another and put them in different flower beds. So if I did lose a tree, it's not going to affect the entire garden. So I would I would say that that was one of the most important things, one of the lessons I learned, to actually put different trees in different areas or large bushes so that it does give shade.
That's a
It
good
was
one.
about
Yeah.
2 years ago, we lost one of our mature trees, and I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I got to get on that very task this year. Ooh, we're losing our ash trees. They're both coming down. One of them's most of the way down now, but the rest of it coming down would have smashed all of my hostas.
Oh, no.
So I went running out the day my husband was cutting them down with a neighbor, and I said, "No, you have to wait till October. Wait till they get their growing season.
I understand, yeah.
Oh, and then you can cut them down and smash all the hostas you want."
Wow.
I know. I'm looking for some understory trees that I'm kind of done with trying to deal with the whatever bug is killing trees.
Yes.
So I'm getting native trees. Whatever I have next is going to be native to this area and hopefully have a little more bug resistance that, we interviewed a native plant specialist, and I was asking him all about native trees, and he listed 5 or 6 that, I'm scribbling frantically, like, okay, I got to take this list to the nursery. So that's a really good idea to layer the trees. I'll have to remember that.
Yes.
Well, ours happened so quickly. We had a storm that brought that tree down in the middle of August.
Yes.
And it became
no.
and that forced us to design 2 more beds in an area that was all grass before.
Yeah.
And we were trying to save everything that we could.
Yeah.
Wow.
Meaning you dug up the stuff that was now in sun and moved it?
I left a few to stay where they were and left them burn, but I ended up moving almost 800 hostas that summer because I added.
God.
I have to admit, though, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun because you know how you have the hostas that sit there and you go, okay, I need to move them, and you just never do it because you don't feel like it. Well, we ended up creating 2 huge islands, and it was really a lot of fun to rearrange and add to the garden. So, the next year, I was looking forward to the following year, that's for sure.
Sure.
But she does have a funny definition of funny.
It was a lot of work, yes, but it turned out. We're very happy with it.
It's one of our favorite parts of the yard now.
Yeah.
Good. Good. You shared the late frost damage on Instagram, and so many gardeners could relate to that heartbreak. What was it like walking through the garden that morning and seeing the damage?
Every spring we wait for those fresh leaves. Yeah. And when we walked out there and I saw the crystals on those leaves, my heart sank because I knew that they did. They ended up all starting over. They can't handle 20-degree weather, which was what we got this spring. As soon as they started to look better, we had a hailstorm. It has been a wonderful spring this year, but we all know hostas do bounce back.
Yeah.
They're just a lot smaller this year, and we're just kind of taking a little bit more care with them and giving them a little extra water because it was a fun year, but most hosta growers and whatnot, they know that they'll come back better in the next spring, and then we'll probably go through this all over again. But you can't wait for those real big hostas, and then when you see those first leaves, you got to pinch off. It's just, but.
What do you do? What do you do when they are damaged by hail? Do you trim them or do you leave them or what?
As far as hail, I will leave them alone. But when it comes to the freezes, I always go through and I do remove gooey leaves because it could just cause more issues because they'll stick together. And then you wonder why you have all these little goosenecks out in your garden. So you have to go out there and just take care of all of that. It's a lot more work, but
yes.
It's worth it when they can actually grow back again and look a little better.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the first time you invited people into the garden? What was that experience like?
I was so nervous that people wouldn't see the beauty I see in a hosta garden. Most people are used to perennials everywhere and different annuals, whatnot, just lots and lots of color. And our garden is colored in a different way. You as far as hostas, they do have their colors, but
Mm-hmm.
people did see it though. It was a relief when they came and they took notice to different things, even with it just being a bunch of hostas.
Mm-hmm.
So that was.
We have a local garden club that has 40 members. So this is one of our first showings, and only 20 of them bothered to come because it was just a hosta garden.
Oh, oh.
So they went back to their meeting with the pictures, and then we got a call about what 3 weeks later. She goes, "Oh my gosh, the rest of our club wants to come and tour the garden."
It was so nice. It was such a great feeling, and because then I knew that they were seeing the garden the way I see it every day.
Oh.
But yeah, it was fun. I think people are learning too. They will say, "Oh, we'll probably be there about half hour for your hosta garden," and then 2 hours later, they're all like, "We gotta go. We have another place to be." So it's a joy to see how happy they are when they walk the garden.
How many visitors do you normally have in a garden in a year?
Well, we just opened the garden up about 3 years ago for people to tour. And a lot of the garden clubs are coming that are hearing about us. And there's usually anywhere from 15 to 30 people with these different garden clubs. And then we have the smaller groups that come, where it's just, 5 or 6 people. They just call and ask to tour. And if we're home, we're like, come on over. So it depends.
I'd love to see it. I wish I lived much, much closer. That would be high on my list.
Oh, you're always welcome if you come into the middle of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Right. We will. So are there hostas you're wishing you could add, but you haven't been able to find them yet?
I'm waiting on that catcher's mitt. I think one of you has it, don't you? Didn't one of you find it at the convention or something?
Yeah. Josh has it at in the Country Garden and Gifts. I put it in the ground last year. It was just barely bigger than a liner, and now it's probably already 12 inches across and 8 inches high. I mean, it is a fast grower. It is a really fast grower.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
When we have a garden tour, she goes through the meaning of hosta, which is the friendship plant. Mm-hmm. So when people come to our garden, they get to take a seedling, one of a kind seedlings, home with them for their garden.
I always tell them to take a piece of. We enjoy them coming and to take a piece of our garden home with them for their own garden. Yeah,
that's a beautiful gift. I love that.
Yeah. Well, it started my very first time we ever went to a hybridizer or a grower's garden. He was selling them, and he gifted one to me before I left, and it meant so much to me to have this gift from this gentleman. And I swore that if I ever had people come to the garden, they would always leave or have an opportunity to have one of these seedlings that I have. So it's done wonderful. Thank you.
When you have visitors come through your garden, what are some of their favorite areas? What do they ooh and ah the most about?
The front yard. they think the front yard's the preview. They go, "Oh my gosh, look at this! This is amazing!" I'm like, "This is just a preview."
This is the preview. But yes, it's their first experience walking into a yard that has nothing but hostas. So it starts out with the front yard, and then when they go around the corner, they all disappear in different directions. So I really don't get to hear much, as far as what they like most.
They like the fire pit. That's a place for them to take a rest.
Yeah.
And they love the new pond area. That's really nice. And a lot of them just like to just do the walk. And a lot of people sit at the pergola because it's shady and cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. After all the tours and visitors you've hosted, what reactions stand out to you the most?
I think the fact that they come back and tell me that they wish they had more time to tour the garden. One of the best compliments I get is when many of the visitors tell me that they leave their stress as soon as they walk into the garden. They leave it behind. That it's a very peaceful place to them. And I've been asked many times, do you think I could do yoga classes here, or just come and sit and read a book? That to me is a really big compliment for because of how the garden makes them feel. Because that's how I feel. So it's, yeah.
That's part of the reason I reached out to you, is that it just, even through Instagram on my phone with the screen,
Yeah.
you can just feel the peacefulness that comes over you when you just, I love your videos when you pan and just kind of show everything all in one area. And I was like, oh, I have to reach out to Lonna. This is amazing.
Thank you so much. It makes my heart so happy to hear that comes across as a peaceful place. Good.
Oh, yeah. All right, Lonna, we've got a game we like to play with guests called Is It a Hosta or Not? I'll read a name of a real plant to you, and all you have to do is decide if it is a hosta or not.
Okay.
So get 3 out of 5 correct, and you'll win a vinyl water bottle sticker for a lucky listener. Betsy, who is Lonna playing for today?
Oh, Lonna is playing for our friend and yours, Robin Terwilliger of Gallup, Illinois.
All right, great. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, number 1. Let's twist again.
Oh, that's a hosta. That's a favorite.
Yes. Does yours get very big? Because ours are tiny.
It expands.
Okay.
It's probably about 1.5 feet wide, but it's just short. It's so tiny.
Okay.
Yeah, it is definitely a tiny one, but I've had it for quite a while. So
Okay. I'll give it time. All right, number 2, Rattlesnake Master.
That would be a really cool name for a hosta, but I don't believe so. I've never heard of it, so no, I don't believe so.
No, it's a native plant.
It was a native flower? Or, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's a tall, it's got a spiky center. It's almost like a coneflower, but without the petals.
Oh, sounds neat.
Yeah, it's like food for some very rare
that's
pollinator.
right.
I can't remember what.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
All right.
Not a hosta.
All right, number 3, Thai brass.
I believe it is. Yes, a hosta.
It is a hosta. Yes.
It's an oldie.
Yeah.
Right, Mandy?
Right. I found it at Tom Carlson's.
Is it a bright gold?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, number 4, Cupid's dart.
I've never heard of that, so I would say it's not a hosta.
Not a
Correct.
hosta.
Yep.
Correct. All right, last one, My Child Insuk.
I believe so. Yes, that would be a hosta. Yeah.
Okay. Good job. You got them
You
all.
have that one? Do you
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I only have twist again. So
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I understand it's a very rare hosta, if I remember right.
Okay.
So I should put that on my list of wants then.
Yeah, definitely.
Robin gets her sticker, so
Yep.
good.
Yay.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I understand you also grow seedlings.
I have really been intrigued with my seedlings since they're most of them are going on 3 and 4 years old, so they're starting to show me what they have. And it's the idea that I started them from seed, and they're starting to get their characteristics about them. So I haven't really been so much wanting hostas as I have been enjoying my own lately.
Oh, good.
Does that mean that you make your own crosses too?
I do not. That I would become so obsessed that I just let the bees do the work for me. I just see their little back ends going in and out of those blooms, and I'm like, thank you very much, and go from there. So
now you've made a reference to Bee Butt Garden. Tell us about that.
That's actually where this comes from. I started growing hostas from seed a few years ago, and John came up to me when they were just tiny little things. And he says, well, do you know who these are? What their names are? And I said, no, I only know where I collect the seeds, which hosta I collect the seeds from. All I see are these little bee butts going in and out of the blooms. And he looked at me so serious and he says, so you are growing bee butts. And it's stuck. So a lot of my friends on Instagram, they know when we talk about bee butts, it's actually my hosta seedlings. So
That's cute. I like that.
That's great. So, what attracted you to growing from seed?
Um, I'm out there with these hostas all summer, all spring and summer into fall. And it just felt like after about a month, I was ready to get back out there again.
Mhm.
And growing them, I start them in October and end up with little plants by the time spring comes around. And it helps with the winter blues, when you miss that garden the most. So,
Mm.
yeah. And they have a good head start then come spring when you plant them out there.
I am the exact same way. It really helps in the dead of winter to still be working in that dirt and seeing green things in your house. So
Yes,
I hear you.
absolutely.
How many seedlings are you evaluating right now?
I honestly couldn't count. I have never counted. I just tray after tray. You know what I mean?
Uh,
I just go with what in the beginning. I just look through them and I find odd shaped leaves, a little bit of a different color, longer stems, and I plant those up and hope for the best. You just never know what you're going to get for a few years. That's the thing.
yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
ask about your third year? You were talking about you had some third year seedlings. Tell us about those.
They're amazing.
John always points them out to the visitors to let them know that they're actually, seeds that we had started or seedlings that we had grown. And
And they start in the same Dixie cup that we give them when they
yes, that's how we describe or show them what they might be getting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
these were in Dixie cups. But no, there's a few out there that really stand out to me. It would be fun to start registering hostas, but haven't gotten that far yet. I kind of want to wait until they're about 5 years old and then
Yeah.
go from there.
So, what pod parents do you pick from? What known? I mean, obviously they're open pollinated, but what are some of the ones that you for sure collect and put in your?
I have found Silver Star has given me a lot of really fun, very tall stemmed hostas. It is crazy. Another one I would say is Cynthia. That one has given me some crazy seedlings with the different blotches. And, people love or hate Cynthia because it reminds them of HVX, but I like the crazy ones. That's what stands out when you're collecting them. Can't all be green or beautiful streakers, but Kiwi highlights actually come talking about the streakers. That's a fun one because it gives you blues and yellows and streaked and greens. And so, yeah, those three come to mind first.
I'm writing
do
these
like-
down so I can look for those.
I would say kiwi highlights. I've got some really nice ones too. I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for those that want to try to grow streakers, that would definitely be a hosta. You just look for those streaked pods and you'll get one or two at least out of that every time.
Yeah.
Lonna, take us back to the beginning of your Instagram journey. How did sharing photos of your garden turn into a community of more than 60,000 followers?
That amazes me every time. I started out as a personal journal for myself. I thought, why not keep track of it on here? I can go back, very easily compared to 20,000 photos on your phone. I could get on Instagram and just kind of see how things have been changing and what I was going through at that time. And the next thing you know, I have people following along and asking questions. And it's been a journey, but I've met so many wonderful people on Instagram that kind of have the same interests. Gardeners are amazing. They really are, especially when they love hostas.
I agree.
Absolutely.
What role has photography played in helping you see and appreciate your garden differently?
Taking pictures slowed me down so that I can see the littlest details in the garden. You start looking at all the hostas, making sure that they're healthy and nothing's going on with them that you might miss. And by stopping and taking photos, things catch your eye that you normally would just walk by, like the blooms. Hosta blooms are amazing if you just take the time to look at them. So, yeah, photography really allowed me to slow down in the garden.
Yeah. Do you happen to grow ventricosa?
I do. I have that one.
Are yours blooming right now?
They're almost done.
Oh.
A lot of my hostas, because of the deep freeze that we dealt with, a lot of my hostas started blooming very early this year.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of them many of them are almost done, actually.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I say that because my friend, I'm in zone 4B, and she sent me a photo, a close-up of about 8 ventricosa flowers, and they are just spectacular flowers. They have like stripes of white and dark purple. I don't know if because it's a species plant, I don't know if I see it very often. It's gorgeous, of course, but she was like, look at these ventricosa flowers. And I thought, ooh, that's an award-winning photo. You need to enter that.
There you go. Exactly. I have to point them out to a lot of my visitors, but once they see one, they start looking at the blooms, because I'm that person that says, don't cut them off. The pollinators, the hummingbirds, the birds in the winter, I leave them for the winter for the birds, and they really enjoy them. It's one of those deals where I just let them go.
Yeah.
They might look a little ugly, after a while, but they're important. So for the pollinators. Yeah.
Definitely.
What's something you've learned from connecting with gardeners online?
Oh my goodness. What have I learned? There are so many things out there. I mean, so many ideas, so many tricks. That's kind of part of the garden world, where you just take everything in stride. And
the one comment I liked that she showed me, where a guy, I'm assuming it was a guy, he wrote it and says, all they have is hostas on this. I said to her, isn't that in the name?
Well, what he's talking about is I've always had amazing experiences with people, but you always have that one on the internet. And one of the craziest things that I laugh about is they say, all you have are hostas in your hosta garden. So yeah, it's kind of funny.
Well, it's on brand. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So is there anybody on Instagram that you enjoy following?
Oh my goodness. I have so many that I followed.
I was just thinking maybe there's somebody I could add to my list too that I don't know about yet.
Somebody new that I just found was, I believe it's Dr. Garden Fairy. Have you heard of that gentleman?
Yes, actually, I have. He's right up here in Minnesota, and
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he lives, I think, somewhere in the Twin Cities, and I also enjoy looking at his content too. He's very like, he'll walk you right out there and be like, okay, today I'm going to show you how to split a hosta. And, he'll walk you right through exactly what to do. And I thought, I love these people who are not just talking it through off the top of their head. They're actually showing you what to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
What's the smartest design decision you've made?
Well, I can tell you that one of the smartest things to do, or what smartest things I learned, was to not skip those green hostas. We all want the fancy ones with all the color, but I always go back to trying to find a special green hosta to put in between those so that the others stand out. Yeah.
That's true.
In the beginning, you want all those colors. You want the bright yellow, but you have the bright yellow and you put 2 more bright yellows beside it, and they all disappear and turn into one hosta.
Yes,
that's true.
Definitely look at those green hostas.
When we went to the convention, I bought a bunch of plants, and like I came home with like 31, hostas. And
oh my gosh.
They were all green, every single one of them. Well, actually, I think 2 of them were like yellow, chartreuse or something. But I thought, goodness, I do love the giant green ones. They're just beautiful. Oh,
yes.
Well, and then we were at Land of the Giants. We got to go there, and Mandy's walking up with 2 more all green in her arms, and I was like, "Put those back. You can't have any more solid green." She's like, "Oh, that's right."
That's on the bucket list as well. That would be I'm sure it was a fun time.
It was something to see. Yeah.
Well, next year, their Midwest Regional Hosta Convention is going to be in Rockford, Illinois, which is only about 30 minutes from Land of the Giants and Uniquely and all those other places. So Mandy and I are like, okay, which convention can we go to next
year? There you go.
Do we want to go to Indianapolis? Do we want to go to Rockford? I don't know.
Both, yeah.
I know, right? Exactly.
When you look at photos from 2016 compared to today, what surprises you most about the evolution of the garden?
My hosta garden my garden itself looked naked.
Yeah.
When I go back to those photos, I'm like, oh dear, it doesn't even look like a garden with just a few plants here and there. But it's like the more plants I add, the bigger the garden seems to become because you can't see around corners all of a sudden. So you kind of, it just makes you go and explore with these different pathways. So yeah, it was pretty naked in the beginning when I thought I had all kinds of plants.
Yeah. Well, you have woods behind your property and plenty of deer pressure. How do you keep deer from turning your collection into a salad bar?
Deer are creatures of habit. So the trick to keeping these deer out of your garden is to spray a deer deterrent. We use Deer Stopper. It's deterrent of your choice. But I spray everything before the plants come up. So I spray things like my statues, sidewalks, fences, you name it. I'm spraying, going along, taking a wand across everything. And they, when they do visit looking for food, they're not going to find anything, but they're going to remember that, oh, it's not exactly the best place to be. So they move on, unfortunately, to places like my neighbors. And they learn that, hey, there's food there. So the habit is to go past our house and move on to where they're going to be finding food that doesn't taste funny or smell. So yeah, we spray every 2 weeks. We definitely, keep up with it to remind them why they don't like to come into my garden. So we have 7 to 9 deer walking around here at a time, and I've been very lucky. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So you spray every 2 weeks all through the entire growing season?
I do, yes.
Wow.
And then we start right before the pips. When you first start to see the pips coming, that's when I start spraying everything.
Okay.
So it just deters them.
Andy, I think that's the same deer spray that Stacy Ling was telling us about. Deer, it's called Deer Stop. Is that right?
Yes,
Deer
yeah,
Stopper.
yeah, Deer
Okay.
Stopper.
Deer Stopper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you get
really
that?
need to look for that.
I've found it on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And you can get it in a smaller bottle of concentrate, or you can get it in a real big container, and it lasts forever.
Okay. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because I'm tired of the liquid fence, and it sprays back on me, or the wind blows the wrong way, and I have to come in and take a shower immediately because
Yeah, I
got a really
can see
putrid smell.
Yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of people will take the time and spray each individual hosta. And all I do is put the sprayer on the stream, and I just walk and wave that wand back and forth and make sure I do get the stones and whatnot still when I'm spraying every 2 weeks. And I've never had any issues. Now you watch. I'll be on Instagram. Look what the deer did. But yeah, I don't have the issues because honestly, it's like training them to find other places to eat and forage. So
I assume that gets rid of your rabbits too. Do you have any
it
rabbit
does.
problems?
We have rabbits go through, but we don't have any issues with them because it's dangerous to them. When they can't smell things, it becomes dangerous. So the rabbits just stay out of here.
Well, this is now 2 guests that have recommended this, Mandy. I think I really need to look into this for sure. Garden Gate magazine mentioned that when you are tired of a hosta, you do something a little different with it. You float it in your pond with the koi. What's the story behind that?
I went on Pinterest one day a long time ago, and I saw that they had like impatiens and coleus and whatnot floating in the pond. And I thought, well, they're a shade plant. Why not try a few hostas? And sure enough, they did wonderful. I mean, they bloomed and everything in this water, and there was no slugs to worry about, no cutworms to worry about. And the only thing I had, the concern was the koi would actually bump them and move them around throughout the day. So it gave them a toy to play with, I guess. But yeah, and then with adding them there, it gave me an excuse to buy more hostas.
Oh, that's awesome.
So how do you float them? What do you do?
You can just purchase hosta. It's called pond floaters. They're just like styrofoam rings that you can put just regular like 6-inch pots, plastic pots into, like nursery pots, and just set it down in there. And I started out with the landscape fabric and some pond soil. After a while, I just realized, you know what, you can just stick them down, just their bare roots, and they go just as crazy, and you don't have all that time in them by planting up these pots. So, yep, you just put them in a pot with just their bare roots, and they're good to go for the season. I do pull them out, though, in the fall before the frost really come, and I tow them in to like the garden, just a veggie garden or something, so that they have time to go into dormancy, and then come spring I pop them back out and put them back in the pond.
Oh,
They're
wow.
probably wagging their little finger at all the other hostas going, look what I get to do and you don't get to do.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm the chosen one.
You recently had the misfortune of rebuilding your entire pond. What happened there?
Oh boy. Last October, we found out a groundhog decided to put a hole in our 25-year-old pond.
Oh, no.
And we were in a hurry because, the frosts were coming and the snow was coming. And we decided to, instead of having stones surround it, because it was built into a deck, we decided to go with the deck wood and build it up. Well, asked him to build it a little too high, and I did not care for it. It didn't go with my garden after we had this pond finished. I no longer have a favor list, that's for sure, in his pocket. So he tore it all apart and we redid it this spring. And it was probably one of the best things we did because I'm really enjoying it now. And the toads can get back in there in the spring.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't understand why they could not get into this wall. So we lowered it back down, and yeah, now we're really enjoying it.
Did you have to overwinter your koi somewhere during that process?
That's kind of a sad story. They went through stress, and the pond water was not perfect because we were in a hurry to put them in there. There was no plants in there to help keep the water clean over winter, and we ended up losing them to a bacterial infection. And had to say goodbye to about 12 or so 25-inch koi, I'd say 24, 25 inch.
No.
That was a learning experience.
All because of a groundhog, man.
All because of a groundhog.
Doggone it.
Yeah.
Listeners, the journey is recorded on Instagram. You can kind of see, I think it's a bunch of snapshots that you've kind of pieced together, and it kind of tells the story of your pond. And you had it probably, about 18 inches up off of the deck? And
yes, we did. Yes.
Okay. But then at some point that all came down and it became flush with the rest of the deck.
Yeah, it's just raised up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. I was like, oh no, what happened? But the finished product is gorgeous. You guys did a really nice job. Way to go, John.
What did you have to do to prevent groundhogs or whatever from doing that again?
When we built it, I made it out of 4x6s. I saw a video. It's called an English wading pond.
Yes.
And I try to incorporate that. But when I build things not to be taken apart. So there's a lot of rebar in it. And so when I had to take off 3 layers, it was an all-day project. And I rented a machine thinking hydraulics would work, and it didn't. So it was just a bar and a lever and brute strength to tear it apart.
Now you see why I lost my favors list. Yeah.
You're back to 0.
I know. I have to start all over.
Oh, my goodness.
It was worth it.
Oh, good. Well, Lonna, it's time for the Hosta A to Z Blitz.
Oh, boy.
You have 30 seconds on the clock. You get to name as many hostas as you can that start with the letter R.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Ready,
set, go.
We have Rainbow's End, Regalia, Runt, Rhino Hide, Raspberry Sunday, Revolution, Reptilian, Road Rage. Yeah, we have Ripple Effect.
10 seconds.
What else do we have? He's not helping because he doesn't know a lot of these names.
I just point to her. She knows them all.
Rainforest Sunrise?
And stop.
9 or 10 is what I counted.
I think 10. Yeah.
10. That's
10?
really good.
That's you're probably got the second most of any guest we've had this season.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, Lonna, before we let you go, what thoughts or words of wisdom would you like to leave our listeners?
Find the people that know what they're talking about. Listen to the hybridizers and the hosta growers that have been doing this for a long time. Just be a wallfly and sit there and just take everything in, take notes, because they have a lot of knowledge that a lot of books can't help you with or the internet can't help you with. So most definitely go to places that, the conventions and the forums and whatnot, and just sit there and listen. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. If listeners wanted to learn more about the Painted Leaf Hosta Garden, what's the best avenue?
Again, Instagram is my happy place. So that's usually where I'm at.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, be sure to follow Hosta La Vista on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to hit follow to be updated whenever new episodes drop. If you'd like to reach us, email us at hostalavistapodcast@gmail.com.
And until next time, thanks for listening and
Hasta la vista. Thank you for having us. It was a fun experience.
Special thanks to Green Hill Hostas for sponsoring Season 2 of Hosta La Vista. Green Hill Hostas, home of great new hostas.
and In the Country Garden and Gifts. This is Hosta Country. Visit their website at inthecountrygardenandgifts.com.